are you, buddy? Yeah.
Still awake.
You were up the earliest out of all of us, weren't you? Tell everybody what time you started today.
Well, I woke up at 3 a.m. Then joined the panel at 4 a.m. 3:50 a.m. here in Singapore.
So you definitely started the earliest, which was good effort. We were 6 a.m. So well done. How you holding up? Okay.
Uh, Holding up.
Uh,
It's happy hour for me. So
Well, it's happy hour for me. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go get a cold one. This one's gone warm. And Blake,
okay.
you've been asleep, haven't you?
Just 1 hour. Yeah.
Just 1 hour?
Yeah,
Really?
just 1 hour. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'm back up. Yeah.
Back up. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Paco, you're there. Yeah. Hey, your light's gone off though.
Yeah.
Right. I'll let you fight over this. I'm not too bothered. I've done lots of talking. But you guys go for it, and then I might do something at the end. But you go for it and talk about whatever you want, and we'll take questions from the chat. If anyone's got any questions to the guys, please put them in there, and we'll attempt to answer them.
Great. Perfect.
So who wants to start?
you go ahead, Paco.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead. So I'll be showing a little bit of tricks in Mystica, okay, which is the tool that I'll be giving some classes in the ICA, okay. So here we go. So I'm going to show just 3 quick tips of how we could do some cool things inside Mystica. And but basically, in this last year, SGO have released a new redesign of the color tool. And in this redesign of the color tool, the intention was to make it more user-friendly to bring more colorists to the tool set, of course. So one of those things was the ability of creating better color grades with better keys. So we can see here that in the color tool we have right now I did apply 3 layers, and I have 3 different layers. In my first layer I'm doing a very contrasty, just a primary grade. And my layer number 2, I've got bands where I'm doing a little bit of an S curve, and you can see it here in my ranges over here. Okay. And in vector number 3, I can start playing around with some of my fix factors, where I could obviously play around with some of the colors, but I also have the hexagon, which is another tool that displays the fix factors in a different way, and just makes it easier to manipulate all these 3 tools, the fix factors, the hexagon, and the mixer here, are all connected. So as you can see, if right now I take in the red channel the green channel over the more green color channel on the red channel, we can see that's going to be fed in the hexagon and in the fix factors. Okay, I'm going to reset that, so obviously we get something smoother. And one tip that I recommend using in Mystica is that whenever we are doing a key, like for example here in this image, we got loads of very analogous shots, and let's imagine that we want to pull a key out of our presenter here, and I can press here on my skin tone in the color wheel here, and we can see that there are many colors that pop up. Okay, so in this redesign that SGO have done, they really wanted to help the colorists to make better operations within keys as well. So for example, we have here the merge key option now, and what I'm going to do is actually merge this key with another channel from of a previous layer. So when I go to and here, instead of source or alpha, I'm going to multiply my red channel that I'm keying the skin tone with the green channel. And you can see there that now I have really smoother look of the skin. And if I use the proportional, even better, because over here, what we're doing is we are doing a setting of those skin tones. It's kind of a key of the skin tones within the selection that we already have, okay? Then I just need to maybe manipulate a little bit and remove elements that I don't want to use in my key. And then I would obviously have the option of working with all the color grading tools that Mystica would have. Okay. Got too many panels around here right now. And start doing a little bit on my key. Okay, so that is one quick tip that of how we could pull better skin tone keys inside Mystica. And another small tip of that really gets especially new users in Mystica is, for example, let's imagine that we've overcooked this color grade and we really kind of pushed this grade like way too far. All right, so over there we've just gone like a really warm image, and the client is asking us to just halve the whole grade that we've done. Normally, some Mystica ops, what they would do is get the clip, just put it on the top layer, and then just do 50% mix of one clip over the other one. And of course, here we would see, obviously, that we have just 50% of that grade. But we could do it within the color grade tool. The thing is that it's not the blend option that many people think it is. So if I add a new layer and I say recover and I say source, okay, we see we get the source there. People tend to believe that it's the blend option that will halve what we are doing here, but it's not that. What we're going to do is actually go to what the blend is doing is kind of blending any color correction that we've done. As we haven't done any, the only thing we're going to do is recover a little bit of the shot. And over there, you can see I'm reducing the alpha channel to 50%. And then there, I'm recovering part of the grade that we have. And even I could maybe even, oops, wait, do this even more. You can see there, it's clearer to see. So those are two tips of how you could do different color operations inside the new Mystica color toolset. Anything else you guys want to add?
Well, just starting to read the manual book of Mystica, so I have nothing to add.
Well, I'm here to help. Actually, I'll be leading some of the color training within Mystica for the ICA. So that's what I'll be doing for the ICA.
Cool. Okay, maybe I'll go next. Always confused how to share my screen. Oh yeah, Paco, could you stop sharing the screen?
Of course.
Let me try. Oh, wrong one. I always thought I got to figure out. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay, let me. Do you see my resolve?
Yes, we are.
Okay, cool. Okay, basically, I just create. Sometimes we create lower third for our video, so I just created something quickly for ICA, iColorist. I have this animation, a bit of animation on Fusion. I have some iColorist logo here at the background. And let's say I want to use this template for everyone else, I can just focus on this two to change the name and change the destination only. So we can create this as a template for the edit page if we want to. But there's always one thing that confuse people out. I mean, where does it go? Uh, if and when we have this template created, I mean, created from scratch on this one, we create. I'll just need to select the main thing that we need to do is to select. The first thing that we need to select on this case is the name, the first line. Click on it, press Command or Control in Windows. Click on the second one, and you can select the rest. So why do we have to select this is because when we right click on macro and we right click on any of the nodes, we select macro, we create macro, and this window will pop up. And as you can see, the first line and the second line will be the first on the top. That's the main reason that we have to select the first line first, and then the second line first, second line as the next, and we select the rest after that. So in this case, we can actually select.
Yuki,
Yes.
we're not seeing your other windows. Actually, we're just seeing your main resolve display.
Oh,
So your pop-ups aren't showing.
my
You probably
pop-ups
want
are
to,
showing.
yeah, probably you want to share your desktop instead of sharing the resolve screen.
Okay, good to know. I always got this thing mixed up. Sharing my desktop. Okay, I'll just share my main desktop, and then I'll just move. Do you see it now?
Yeah, we see it now.
Okay, cool. So in this case, on the first line, I want to let people just change the name. So in this case, we go to the text. We have the style text. We activate the checkbox. If depends, it's up to us whether we want to let people to change the font. But in this case, we want to assign the dedicated fonts. We can change the style. We can change the size here. So we can do the same to the second line. We scroll down. I normally just close it up first. So on the second line, I can assign the same thing on the text section, style text, style, and the size. So remember to rename it as what we want to rename it. In this case, I just rename it as iColorist.com. I close it. Save changes macro to macro tool. Yes. And this is the one that sometimes confuses me when I first started this. It needs to go to Fusion, template, edit, and titles. This is then it is gonna come up as a settings file, and we can save. And in this case, I already save it. And the next step that we need to do is to restart not restart the system, but restart the resolve. So when you the next time you load it up, if you go to the effects library on the title section, and it should be there. So this is the text that I have. And playback. And if I go to inspector, I can just this is the previous version that I created, so I can change the name. Let's say Blake Jones. This is stays the same, so just need a bit of time to render, and that's it. I hope it helps. Okay, I'll hand over to you, Blake.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some tips on Resolve 17. And let me just come over here and share my desktop here. And just come over here. And what we're going to see here, there. So you should be seeing my resolve screen.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so what we're going to do now on Resolve 17, you can actually do a very nice chroma key directly in the edit page. So for example, we have this one clip there of the pirates on the beach. And very often, like when I'm doing YouTube videos, I want to put a subscribe button. I want to key that in over it. So what we do here is we just take the chroma key with the subscribe button, drop it in over here. Let's just shorten it down a little bit. That's fine. And then what we do is we come over here to our OpenFX area and then select Resolve FX key and just take that and drop it into here. And then what happens, we've got now the FX keyer in there. Then if we come over here and then select the inspector and then select effects here in this area, we've got all of our controls for the keyer. Now, in order to define the key area, what we have to do is click here in the lower left side and then just select OpenFX overlay and then click in the green area and there we have it. And then we can use our other functions in here just for cleaning it up with the map finesse and everything like that. So now, as you can see, if I come through here and then play that, and then we've got the whole thing like that coming through. Now, another thing too, which you can do on the edit page, which is great, is you can also do a scene cut detection in here. And so this one will, so what I have to do, of course, since Resolve 17 is still technically in beta, it can get hung sometimes. So let's just, I've got the spinning wheel. Okay, and let me just share my screen again. Okay, and let's come to Resolve. Okay, share. Okay, so what happens is that if I take, let's say this clip, and I want to drop that in there, and I come to this particular shot here, like so, and then I want to go through and do this, what I can do here is we've got now detect scene cuts. And then we just select that and it goes through just in the same process like we would when we were accessing from the media page. And it goes through and automatically divides all the cuts up for us. And it's relatively fast for this. So as you can see here, it's giving you the status of what's going on.
Blake, what happens if they're wrong? Is that an easy fix?
Yeah, it is actually. You can go through, you can trim it up, you can go through and yeah, the only thing is you don't have the graph like you had when you were doing it with the full display on it. Yeah.
We'll see in a minute, I suppose, where the cuts are.
Yeah. So you'll see what happens is the minute it finishes, then you'll have all the different, this is the project I just finished. Yeah. And so this is a documentary about the Korean Airlines Flight 007 being shot down. And so as you can see, now you have all the different scene cuts that are going on there now. So it makes it so much easier for this. And so it's something that I use quite a bit now. Okay, so there we have it. Yeah.
Very useful for when you've got conformed and baked material together.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Because as you can see, I had the key shot on the beginning, and then I just did a scene cut detection of the other clip and put it together. So this way I was able to cut everything up and then divide it that way.
All right. Okay, I've got 5 minutes here, so I'm going to do a little quick thing. Now, this is not particularly Resolve. You can probably do this in any software. One of the most important things for you as a colorist is your clients, right? You've got to treat your clients like gold, and you've got to treat every job as if it's going to be the last job you're going to do. No matter how tired or worn out or how long you've been working. And one of the things is you never assume that the client knows what they want. Quite often they don't. And if they do, they're still going to want you to suggest something because that's the reason they're coming for a grade. Remember, they have lived with this job for months, you know, sometimes years, and they've had storyboards and they've sat through editing. They sort of know how it's going to be. And your job is to go, well, maybe it should look something different. Now, you can get the footage early. You can do a little pre-grade. So when they walk in, you can go, what do you think? You don't always get the footage early. So make some power. This is a really lovely looking shot, okay, as it is, beautiful. But I've got a lot of different power grades and bins made up. So I don't have time to go through and grade all these looks for these people because I just don't. This could be like a 2-hour session to grade this little 20-second piece. So split screen and resolve, and then just say selected still grades. And then I can do that. Now, what this doesn't do, it doesn't, no one's going to go, well, that's definitely the look. But it will sort of get people thinking what they don't like. Well, maybe that one doesn't work. And maybe I don't like this one with slightly green in the blacks. So already you have, you know, dissed a few ideas. So that's how I use it. And I have power grades made up with more looks, classic looks. I've got shapes. I've even got crazy shapes like cars and things like that, that has a really stupid mat inside. There's my car shape, look. I think it was based on a Hummer, not a VW Beetle. The other thing that I like to use is my power bin. You're grading away with someone and they say, oh, I'd love to do a bleach bypass. Have you got any bleach bypass references? So instead of jumping on Google or going across to your cupboard and pulling out an old show reel, you just enable your power bin. And to do that, that is view, top of the pile here, come all the way down, show power bins. And in there, I've got things like ramps that I use a lot. I've got show reels in there. I've also got movie examples, stills from movies. I've got quite a lot of trailers, so I can easily pull up trailers. Or I could go, well, you know, let's look at for any sort of bleach bypass looks. There. So I don't have to hunt very hard. And a client will go, oh, this is good. This is organized. What else have you got there we can have a look at? Oh, I've got loads of things. Just little things like that. It's just about being organized. And always offer up something. And as I said earlier in the conversation, it might not work for this job. Do not be put off if someone doesn't like what you've done. It doesn't matter. It may be for the next film or the one after that. Or they might tell their friend, oh, this colorist came up with some quite out there things and had a real, I liked it, but it wasn't for my film. So never be afraid of that. And again, that takes confidence. And the more you grade, the more you're able to throw these different ideas out. I think we're going to go to some breakout rooms.